All right. So today, one should be more fun than the previous tier list. Today we're gonna look at famous generals throughout history, and I'm gonna rank them. This one I feel like should be less controversial than a president's list. This one I picked this one because it looks like it has very good representation of various generals. It doesn't look like we really have any African generals. Which I feel like I might add in one, like in post or whatever. If the name comes to me, I'm Shaka Zulu. I feel like Shaka Zulu is probably an A tier, so I'll probably put him right here, Shaka Zulu, right there. Let's start off. Alexander the freaking Great. Not only was he LGBT because he was Greek in ancient times, which means they did not care about sexuality. He conquered what he was able to do. Now, he did not necessarily make an empire that could last. He did his military feats, since this is just looking at their skills as a general, and their accomplishments as a general. I'm gonna have to put Alexander at S tier. There. Attila the Hun. He was a bane to the Romans. He had a lot of sex, lots of babies. Lots of people can say they are descended from him. But aside from that, things that he did that necessarily... I kind of want to just give him a B tier. I feel like he's a little overrated at times. Belisarius. I don't know too much about him. I probably am not going to look him up. We're just going to get rid of Google. So because I don't know much about him, I'm going to put him at C. No, we're going to put him at D since I don't know much about him. No, we'll look him up. Let's look him up. Byzantine. Okay. Oh! Oh, I know what this dude did. Okay. You know what? We're bumping him up to B tier with Attila. Simon Bolivar. I'm gonna put him at C tier. He led independence against the Spanish Empire, but during the time of his revolution, Spain was already far into decline, so I feel like it wasn't much really all too impressive that. Yeah, so we're gonna put him there. Charlemagne. I feel like if we were to rank kings, I think I'd probably put him at an S tier for what he established. But as a general, we're gonna put him at above at an A tier, because just of the country he was able to form through his military conquests. I'm gonna go there. Cyrus. I believe they are talking about Cyrus the Great. Yeah, no, I gotta put Cyrus up at S tier. Yeah, I'm gonna put him above Alexander. So I think he was also very, yeah. Despite being an Iranian who believed in, he was not a Jew, for sure. I can't remember the religion of the Achaemenid Empire, but it was not Jewish. It was not even monotheistic at the time. But he was very oldest known Declaration of Human Rights. I know I said I wasn't gonna rank their accomplishments in government, but like I feel like for Cyrus, just I have to. He's so amazing. All right, Gaius Marius. Marian reforms, I think, put him at a B. But Germanic tribes, third founder of Rome. Seventh consul. All right, we're gonna keep him at B. I was thinking about lowering him down to C, but I think B is okay. Genghis Khan. He's got to go in A tier. Um. Oh no, I'm gonna bump him up to S tier because he conquered so much. If I'm putting Alexander for his conquest, I gotta put Genghis. Um. Even though I feel like Alexander was a bit more impressive because of how numerically outnumbered he was in a lot of his battles, while Genghis had numbers and horses. Patton, he's a D tier. I'm sorry, Americans, my fellow Americans. Patton is a D tier. He's overrated as hell. He actually has done. It's if you look it up there. I can't remember what battle it was, but there are campaigns in southern France in which he actually ended up probably costing more American lives than were necessary. I'm gonna put him down at D tier. Hannibal, the madman, fucking walked elephants and an entire army across the Alps, but he did lose a lot of men in that calculated risk. Or maybe he didn't calculate the risk, but he did still wreak havoc despite the losses on Rome. So we're gonna go ahead and put him at A tier because of that. Helmuth von Moltke. Okay, so he wasn't the one who I'm thinking of. I was thinking of a general in yeah, I think that's talking about the younger. I'm gonna put him at D tier because World War One. His plan did not work. He did not kill France, so he didn't really succeed. Yeah, Hitler would use the stuff that he pioneered, and have generals that adapted and adopted his tactics or his ideas, and would use them to great success. But himself, no. Caesar has to go at S tier. I feel like I'm giving too many S tiers. But Caesar deserves this because of a lot of his actions. Dude in Gaul, he fought a Gallic army. He is considerably outnumbered. So this Gallic army fortified themselves, like on a hill. But see, instead of just laying regular siege to them and assaulting them, because he knew there was another army coming to him, or he suspected that there would be another army coming for him, he built a wall himself to encircle the army that was inside and to also protect his rear from an enemy attack. And he won that battle despite being heavily outnumbered and having like no reinforcements. And that's just one of his numerous battles. Napoleon Bonaparte, overrated. He did not succeed in his ultimate goals. While what he did was fairly impressive, he was able to beat the Austrian Empire and go on all the way to Moscow. But despite his efforts in getting to Moscow, he lost pretty much all of his army, all of his Grande Armée. So, in the end, I'm going to have to put him at C tier. Things he did, yes, they are impressive. But in comparison to the rest of these people on this list, I cannot put him on the same level as Attila, Belisarius, and Gaius Marius. Philip II, the father of Alexander. I'm going to put him up here at A tier because a lot of what he did revolutionized warfare and allowed Alexander then to do what he did in his lifetime. Pompey. I'm going to put him... I'm going to go ahead and keep Pompey... I'm gonna put him at A tier. I think he deserves it. He had a lot of skill as a general. That is undeniable. But he was bested by Caesar, so Caesar stays at S tier. Qin Shi Huangdi. Shi Huang, first emperor of Qin. Yes. Book burner, yeah. Terracotta army. He unified China. But does it give us a map of the China he unified? Yeah, so this was his dynasty. So it was, I'm gonna go ahead and just put him. I'm gonna put him at the top of C tier. If it lets me, because I do think he's better than Simone, but he didn't really do much. It doesn't really say he did anything revolutionary. Saladin, I'm gonna put him at the top of A tier. I think he definitely had, he didn't really fight a losing battle against the Crusades. I think it was inevitable that he was always going to win. He had the numbers, he knew the terrain. It was pretty much his homeland. I mean, yeah, he became a Sultan of Egypt, I believe. But he knew the terrain well, far better than the Crusaders could have ever have hoped that they could even know. It would take them decades to learn the land as well as Saladin. So Saladin's going to be an A tier. I don't think he deserves S tier because he wasn't fighting like a losing battle. Now, Scipio Africanus. Yes, he defeated Hannibal. So, because of that, we're going to put him up there. I'm not going to put him higher than that. I'm not going to put him at the same level as Caesar. While what he did was impressive by beating Hannibal, I think Hannibal was just overstretched. Scipio had the time. He knew Hannibal's strategies. So any skilled general would probably... Any general of this tier probably would have been able, once they've learned their opponent's moves, their typical strategies, they would have been able to win. Now, Subadai. Ooh! Hold up, I'm gonna make an adjustment here. I'm gonna bump Genghis down to A, because I think he's overrated a little bit. I'm gonna bump him down to B tier. Subutai is getting the S tier, as I would say he is more responsible than, from that reading, than Genghis Khan is for the expansion of the Mongol Empire. And that is how it's going to be. Sun Bin, he was one of the writers, okay? Descendant of Sun Tzu. I'm going to go ahead and just put him down here at C tier. Doesn't look like we have too much knowledge of his life. Sun Tzu, on the other hand, though, his supposed ancestor, Sun Bin's supposed ancestor, Sun Tzu gets straight up to S tier. He wrote The Art of War. Pretty much S tier people are people that we still study in great detail. These people we still study a little bit, but not as much detail as these guys, or at least how I should have studied. Yeah, modern generals are overrated. I'm sorry. I don't think I have any problems with this list. I feel like maybe this was a very good list. I think with the people that the creator here created or well picked from in history. I was actually expecting a lot more European generals to be listed. I was not especially expecting someone like Helmuth von Moltke. I was expecting Napoleon. I was expecting Sun Tzu and Attila and Genghis. Like, I wasn't expecting Saladin. Most people don't put him on lists for some reason. I was not expecting Cyrus, because usually Cyrus is like on a cool emperor list, but not on a general list. So that's great that he's up here. But yeah, I like the diversity that was presented. It would have been boring if it was just European generals. And like I said, I think I'm gonna put Shaka Zulu up here because I like him. I think he was a pretty decent general for what he had on his side versus the enemy side. I think he did good as a general. There's A or B. Aside from that, I think that's going to be the end of the video today. If you have any disagreements, you don't like my list, comment down below and tell me what you would change and why. Make sure you leave the why. Don't just say, oh, you're wrong because blah, 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 blah. You're wrong because Hannibal's better or something. At least say why you think Hannibal is better, or something like that. You know, provide substance to your argument and try and persuade me as to why maybe he should be bumped up higher, or maybe someone should be bumped down lower. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for today. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please hit that like button and subscribe for more. Thank you.